research is on hiring the best candidate every time within the GS system or any system really. My research is based on the problems that the government system is currently having hiring candidates that seem qualified on paper. They provide the perfect resume, the perfect application, but when they are placed into the position that they've applied for, they wind up being a hire failure. And the reason for this is because they are qualified, they have experiences, and they're highly educated, but the problem is that they don't fit into the culture for the section that they have applied for. So my research will cover areas on how to interview to get results that will place the candidate in a position in which they can adapt to and that they fit into the culture. My first two resources are Hiring for Attitude by Mark Murphy and Match by Dan Erling. And basically what they advised for the hiring team to do is to not only develop a job description that requires a specific explanation of the qualifications, but also to develop a mission statement that will attract high performers and that will attract people that fit that culture. And part of the job description should also include what the culture is like, so that people that are laid back and like to work in teams will attract that kind of person to the position rather than a person who is reserved, quiet, likes to work individually. So Match and Hiring for Attitude teaches a process of how to ask questions that will bring out the person's characteristics and certain attributes in order to place them in a section where they will fit in, not just based on their qualifications but on their personalities. Again, the questions that Falcone really digs deep into are more personality type questions. And one of the statements that he does make that really stands out to me is that a person who's a superstar in one organization will not necessarily be a superstar in a different organization. This isn't due to the qualifications again, but rather the differences in cultures and the type of environments and the failure to adapt to those different types of cultures and environments. And again, Falcone, just like Murphy and Erling, go into asking questions that will draw out this information in order for you to make the perfect match to that section which is requiring the new hire. And then my fourth and fifth resources are called Spy the Lie and Find Out Anything from Anyone. Now these seem kind of out there, but really what these are how to ask questions that will produce or generate answers that will help you determine who you're going to hire. And these not only work for face-to-face interviews, but they can also work for phone interviews as well, which is perfect for the GS system because due to the many military installations that are across the world, sometimes interviews cannot take place face-to-face. So Spy the Lie and Find Out Anything from anyone anytime helps you to be able to ask questions over the phone and still feel like you can connect with the person and to be able to draw out the truth, to be able to ask questions that will lead to true stories and true responses that will help you make the decision whether this person is qualified and whether this person will be a good fit for the environment for which they are applying for. Along with the hiring team being prepared, one thing that I also think that a hiring team and interviewers should know is that due to all the information on the internet, candidates are now informing themselves a lot more than they ever have before. So, if you have a high performing candidate, this person is most likely to go online and do some research on the company and the position for which they're applying for. And this article is very interesting to me because It was written by Nelson Wang, and he advises candidates to be prepared to answer the following questions that um, are typically asked at most job interviews. And some of them are, why are you applying for this job? And if you have a person who really doesn't know why they're applying for the job other than I need a job and I need money, then you're going to immediately be able to spot that. And you want answers such as, I am applying for this job because I have X, Y, and Z to contribute to your company, because I've researched it and I really think that I would be a good fit. So those are the types of answers that you're looking for. You want highly motivated people. Another question on that list was, what motivates you? What is it that's driving this person to want to work for you? And some of these candidates will be prepared with these answers, and the more of these questions that they're able to answer in depth, the the more this person seems like a high performance type of candidate. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to fit into that environment or that culture that the organization currently has in existence, but it's good to know that these people have prepared themselves. Another question would be like, how do you feel you will make an impact in the company? And if they are high performers, they may even come with a solution to a problem that the company has been dealing with. Another question is, how do you handle adversity? Now, this kind of goes back to what are your weaknesses and what are your strengths. But when they come prepared with a story of how they handle adversity, and it sounds legit. Um, this could also be a high performer applying for the job. Again, not necessarily the perfect fit for that environment, but it's still good to know that they have prepared themselves. And another thing that is very important is for candidates to ask questions about the position or the company. It should be a red flag if they don't ask questions, because that means that they're either not informed on the company or the position, or they just really don't care. And asking questions about the position or the company, such as what is the health of the company, what is the leadership like, these types of questions are the types of questions that the candidate should be asking. Again, these are just clues that these may be high performing candidates. Again, it does not mean that they will fit into the culture, but it's good to have a candidate who's prepared to answer to these types of questions in depth and with examples. Again, try to keep interview questions open-ended and probe for more details, more information. Remember, anything that you can get out of them can help you make that final decision on who to hire and why you should hire them. I hope that this has been informational and useful when hiring personnel to your organization.